I'm just going to walk you through how easy it is to create a document with HSdocs. I'm going to start with a risk assessment document. It's important to point out that all of the documents are the responsibility of the owner that created them, so the final checking of the documents for accuracy does reside with the person creating the document. First thing you're going to do is log in. Once you're logged in, you'll be presented with your dashboard, which gives you some basic information. We're going to go to new documents. Once you've got the new documents, you've got a selection of documents there that you can create based on the amount of credits that you have and want to use. So we're going to go with risk assessment. So the first thing you're welcomed by the AI, and it's going to ask you to give it some basic information about the activity or the task that you need assessing. So for this, I've created a fictional job. Just going to pop the answers in there so you can see it's going to be work carried out at a light industrial unit. It's a two-story light industrial unit, and we're going to be replacing several damaged LED floodlights mounted on the rear elevation. Give some basic information there. So that's the first thing. So what you will get then is the AI will analyze the information that you put in. The more information that you put in, the better. So the more detailed you can be, the better, and the less questions the AI will probably ask you, unless the information you've put in has highlighted a lot of hazards and a lot of risks, in which case the AI will interrogate those risks a little bit further with you to ask you how you intend to deal with those risks. So you can see there, it's to help me build a comprehensive assessment, a couple of follow-up questions. So it's going to give you the follow-up questions there. So the next thing I'm going to do is paste my second paragraph, which answers a few of its questions. So you can see there, I've given it company name, I've given it what the team consists of in terms of the team makeup, how we're going to access it via MUPE. I've given a little bit of information there about what qualifications the team have got, but that's not going to answer all of its questions. So as you can see there, it's quite helpful, but I still need a bit more information. So the third and final paragraph will give it just a little bit more information. Tasks involve isolating the electrical circuit and supplying the external lighting. It talks about what personal protective equipment and using a harness while driving the MUPE. So hopefully that will give it all of the information it requires, but it will let you know. So as you can see there, it thinks it's got enough information now to generate a risk assessment, but are you happy to proceed? So we'll say proceed. Now you'll see the system building your preview, pulling out of all the information that you've given it, all of the hazards that need assessing. So you can see there, it's got the address, it's got the type of work, it's got a summary description of the scope of work and what's going to be happening. It's pulled through all of the hazards. It's pulled through who's going to be potentially injured. It's pulled through existing control measures that it's got from your description of work, and it's got additional control measures here, which you may not have told the system about, but it's going to suggest these as additional control measures. Then it's up to you whether you implement those control measures or not. Got an emergency plan, got control measure summary, and then an assessment sign-off. Now, at this point, if you want to make any further changes to the document, you can do. So we could add that. So just added one thing that we noticed that it didn't pick up anywhere. So because you haven't exported it as a Word document yet, it's not locked it down. So you can make as many changes to this document as you like prior to exporting it. You see it's just going to build it again now with that added information in there. So we've got, there we can see a formal MUPE rescue plan is in place and briefed to the team prior to work commencing. So that's the bit that we added. So you can see how easy it is to create these documents, and then all you do is export the Word document. It'll take a little bit of time to render. Once you've exported the document, it can no longer be edited within the system using AI, unless you select to pay a credit, in which case the AI will reopen and you can edit the document again. But all documents are exported in Word, and that's to make it as easy as possible for the end user to make adjustments to their documents free of charge. That's downloaded. Open the document, and there you go. You can see it's pulled through the logo, pulled through all of the information that you've seen in your preview. The only difference between the preview and the actual document here is that you get the full matrix, where it doesn't show the full matrix on the preview, just to speed up the process of rendering it. And you can see there that all of these have been pulled through. If you want to edit the document, it's now just a standard Word document, so you can make any edits that you wish. You can apply additional branding. And then just before, this is just a disclaimer to remind you that you need to be responsible for your own documentation, and that it's been created by AI, so you need to be looking out for any mistakes that could have been made. But once you've checked the document, you can delete that, and then you've got a working document. So hopefully that shows you how easy it is to create a risk assessment with HSdocs.